each of us ennobled by our place within the system. Your task awaits.
Fatal attraction. This fatal attraction. This fatal
Broadcasting cognitive resonance towards Arcadia. This is Grand Plan. And now for some ageless wisdom from an academic so in touch with today's inquisitive laypeople youth. Time for Ask a Vicar with Vicar Precisely. The charismatic mathematician is always a popular topic. To wit, a listener asks, what's this about the mathematician and his capacity for questionable ethics?
A bold query. I'm not sure the my founder's flaws. Yes, the charismatic mathematician did have feet of play. For one, he was a prolific author of venturesome fiction early in his career. These narrative larks did not, shall we say, endure time's unkind judgment, quite like his world-shattering and ascending principles. Nor did his associations with entities outside academia, which do not always benefit scientism. But come now, how can we fault someone yet to ascend, like all of us?
And now you know, but no one knows everything yet. Have another inquiry about our order you're bursting to ask? At your local predictory post.
If you're feeling anxious about what's next, just wait. Things to come have a way of constantly happening. With the present, every moment.
Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical quizzes? Visit your local predictory.
It's nice to see people dying of natural causes for a change.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. Please absorb this informative information, valued fellows. Spartan is no longer...
Hold fire!
This
This one looks friendly. Or not protectorate.
Standing by with life support.
I'm taking cover. Someone else take the shot.
until we solve the universal equation.
Dispensing. Now do carry on. And as always, anticipate and emergency protocol syringes primed.
And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
Names and uses. Good day and welcome again to Advanced Abstract Algebraics, Section 4, Session 4. Today's lecture will focus on the
Providing a host of
why so. Simplistic. Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial linguistics. Those numerous. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite the fact that you should have learned that definition decades ago while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious is one of them. I have also been called redundant several times, and once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, Let's call that set N2. Then a prime is any number in the set N2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers in the set N2. A simple definition. Elegant, even uplifting, almost ascendant, you could say, but not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked, why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself? And the answer is simple, you silly lay person. Because with such an inclusion to the definition of a prime number, then nothing else would be a prime number. And then what good are prime numbers? Wait, you ask, what good are prime numbers? Why would we want to find and use prime numbers? There are all kinds of...
Violence is the answer!
And would be sufficient reason to want. Such as maintaining the security of book cartridges. In fact, our archive uses prime and many more. The archive incorporates prime numbers for storage and retrieval on its ultra-efficient system of data bricks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations be tainted by such. But if you strive to become a numenistics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this: is every even member of the set N2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this conjecture. Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Another one of these groups have become the next senior tenured laureate of the tertiary School of Numenistics for the Order of the Ascendant. It's a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good dispositions to you all, and good day.
You are listening to Grand Plan Wireless, Arcadia's voice of reason. Because reason never goes out of season, it's time for another administration of relatable enlightenment with Ask a Vicar, featuring Vicar Max Sci-Fi. Today we
Love a good killing spree!
But such knowledge cannot be shared with the general public or broadcast. Actions should be taken into account. It might introduce ancillary expressions that would invalidate our original solution. The mention of these topics is catastrophic. Discontinuity. Let's move on.
a listener asks,
Well, let's calamitous query. In no uncertain terms, you must never calculate your own personal life equation. The equation necessarily requires bijective isometry. Parametric mappings must be made by an objective third-party order member to assure non-arbitrary orthogonality. Make an appointment at your nearest predictory as soon as possible. Any more questions?
yes, Vicar. Because research shows the listener attention falters after a series of 3 items. I resolve
Calcaduceus detector. You are clear to enter thermal transfer. Be advised that an anti-stress field vector is present and uncoming.
Ready to assist with Agent Hunters. Maintaining
Directorate Engineers is deceased. Projected recovery unlikely.
No children!
Health benefits available at your request. Providing a ready to assist with agents' health needs. Unfriendly. Auxiliary pump is in disrepair. Maintenance tools required.
I can count on you, you can count on me. Hear the golden ratio, geometric harmony. When I hear your chest.
You were just listening to next week's number one unit. Cognitive function.
Probability and the grand plan. There is no discussion of the grand plan, but I also entertain deep considerations of our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is statistical mathematics. Statistics is not data that is gathered, collated, and projected to us. But what is chance in that analysis? Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. Let's flip the die. It will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance.
Blood shall be shed, death shall be soiled.
Is there not one specific outcome we can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance. Only outcome. Complete information yields perfect predictions. 100% accuracy. Known outcome. Back to one of the most difficult concepts in the order for initiates to grasp. If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose? If so, what part of that choice was
Standing
ever
by
left
with
to
life
chance?
support.
The answer, of course, is none. Only when there is less than complete information are we reduced to have complete information. Yet we are still forced to deal in probabilities, expected values, probability distributions. By necessity, we are forced to estimate outcomes based on assumed
Fortifying
distributions of sample populations. Such a something of the universal distinction. Possibility is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information, inaccurate predictions lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Help us know. Contribute any and all data you can collect to our proud archivists. And you too can say you contributed to the archive.
Change your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless.
Make your desired outcome with probabilistic scaling vegetable.
Join our casts. Now try our expulsions. From the Order of the Ascendant.
Violence is the answer!
We will unlock humanity.
Promoting teammate health. Dispensing promoting. Emergency protocol syringes prime. Fortifying.
Homicide only! Both eyes open.
This mechanism requires a fuse to be activated. A search of the surrounding area is recommended.
I needed to know about regulation of the Archive's temperature form. Now my Krabbles are adapting to the warm waters. Such a pity that the Archive and the Krabbles cannot coexist in the same ecosystem. But the Krabbles need me. That babbling terminal can look after itself.
1 in 50 persons die from a crushing-related accident every year. Exercise caution around heavy machinery. Do not become a statistic.
Control board for the Spiraton lift, so I know he's tech savvy. Just not survival savvy. Hopefully he appreciates the care packages I sent through the vacuum tube. Won't be long gone without them.
Activation is still required. Providing a dispensing life
Really?
Thermal transfer is fully operational. Later, when I process your data, I will not melt down. Please proceed to cold storage to re-enable punch card retrieval.
As determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Wireless. For transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, also music. questions, Vicar Mag Sci-Fi has informed answers, as evidenced by another installment of Ask Vicar. A listener asks, why am I so bored? I am always bored. In fact, I'm bored now.
An honest question begging for an honest answer. Numerous studies have shown that boredom is inversely proportional to intelligence. Normally, I would suggest a variety of mathematical puzzles and problems to increase your authentication, but I don't see that as the best solution in your case. Instead, I recommend the following. Purchase a small rubber ball and learn to bounce it. Best of luck to you.
Keep put. Much is
Standing by with life support.
Who are you kidding? If you ain't cutthroat enough to turn the big profits, you ain't cutthroat enough to try anything on me.
Really? You think that's the right tone to take? You may be ruthless in selling out your
We have tools to tame high-order equations. They are useful in problematic occasions. You can take the formula's derivative, or use square roots of numbers complexity. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary, calculating the center of gravity of a shape possessing concavity, or a shape with manifold convexity. You can manage any such complexity.
I don't care what you threaten me with. Not only am I smart for taking these supplies, but I'm following Auntie's laws. When scarcity begins closing its fist,
is the perfect time for aggressive capitalists. Buy cheap, hold long, and sell high, and you'll maximize your profits. Don't quote Auntie's laws of dystopian disruption to me. I'm the one who taught you those damn laws, and I hardly imagine she meant to apply them when it is literally a matter of our life or death.
Whoa, who are you? How'd you get past the landmines?
Damn it, Barnett.
Why are you yelling at me? It's not like that's my actual job.
I caught this one hoarding supplies, despite agreeing that there'd be better profit to be had if we pool everything we've got. Ever since the lifts locked down, this pile of sprat excrement has been sneaking off at night to move some of our shared inventory into a little bonus stash only they know about.
You're only mad you didn't think to do it first. The fact that I'm the most up-and-coming go-getter is what's getting you steamed. Admit it. You're jealous.
Why would I be? Once I cram your cold body into a vacuum tube, I'm taking all your stuff. You're kidding. You think I'm going to take him for some kind of trial? Where I'd have to tell everyone about our stash? That violates every tenet of the society we hold dear. Besides, it's not like I didn't think about it. I just knew it would be a mistake. But this guy? He thought it was the perfect time to pounce on my back like a rabid raptidon.
But I'm living up to Auntie's principles. We all know we should deeply gouge to create future earnings. Don't be bitter just because I'm the one who actually did it.
I guess you chose to swindle the wrong tube tech.
Don't kill me! The things I'm about to do!
It's a grudge, you know.
Gazing upon the golden spiral, a part quite so vital, arcing in a circle motion. Giving square, perfect quotient, 0, 1, 1, and again, 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34, we're counting through.
This unit, Niles Ibarra, is no longer registered as an
It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely. It's Fibonacci from Water. The Fibonacci is the sequence in which each number is the sum of the two preceding ones. 18, 21, 34, 55, 89, 1, 44, and so on and so forth. Sequence summation, proceeding numbers with us, graph and get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abasi.
This is Grand Plan Wireless. Tools for your and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. Archive intelligence. Although an anomalous outlier has seized our facility, thermal transfer is possible. Components will overheat catastrophically without coolant circulation. Built on an ice wall. I will keep you apprised of this situation as it unfolds. In the meantime, let this update serve as a reminder of the impeccable engineering that went into the archive's design.
Potentially incongruent word of advice. Invariably find a way to turn your negatives into positives.
Continuing as predetermined. Next up, well, the seers among you already know. On this electrifying episode of Notable Locations of Scientific Inquiry, we travel well outside our zone of academical comfort to an objectively and verifiably shocking moonscape. Things go chomp and zap in the perpetual night. Experience a surge in stimulation as we visit Praetor, an inhospitable planetoid only made marginally habitable by our grounding station and electrical dispersion rods. It's as fascinating to the mind as it is mortiferous to the body. Tidally lying in Elysian shadow, Praetor suffers a distinct deficit of direct daylight. This unique astronomical arrangement bombards Praetor's surface with low-level N-rays, resulting in a shocking level of atmospheric electricity. I will now pause for a moment to let you appreciate my intentional pun. Moving on. Only heavily adapted predatory fauna eke out a brutal existence here, relying on their mesmerizing patterns of bioluminescence. Humans should ostensibly stand no chance. If not for order astuteness and phonology, our grounding station and charge dispersal network in many people's parlance, a network of lightning rods tie into the central grounding station via a combined 307.47 miles of subterranean high-tension wiring, thus providing a conduit for excessive electrical activity in the atmosphere to reach the grounding station, safely dispersed, typically. Tenured station operators estimate the system is 78% effective, mitigating 82% posed by hypercharged atmospherics. Our electrical dispersion system is ingeniously adaptable. Reversing the system's polarity will send surplus protons from the grounding station backward to any rod in the network. A convenient method to terminate any hostile life forms poking around where they are unwanted. One quick jolt, and they're off to the hereafter. Simply an intriguing possibility to consider as you mull the many fascinating facts behind the Praetor grounding station. Objectively, a notable location of scientific inquiry.
Addendum. Peer review of this episode post-recording revealed the subterranean grounding network is in fact 307.51 miles of wire instead of 307.47 miles as originally. We apologize for this careless failure of piece of that. Responsible researchers have been formally censured. Do not deviate from this frequency unless you know what comes next.
where the root of an isosceles right triangle. The smaller sides are measurable as one. The length of the longest side then cannot fully be expressed by anyone. Irrational, 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 irrational. Remainder is mishmashinal. Any numbers you can name us.
Not possible. No target.
Lots of bullet-riddled bodies here. We should keep an eye out for what made them that way.
Discovered upon a Nancy's Choice and the Protectorate both. The Order of Descendant. Warning. This mentions some actions that are improper. Something your fractions should never be.
The color of space. A chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Odiscard replied, no hesitation, age. Your experience moving this problem. His answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse and bleating into a victim's. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade? No. No, it wouldn't. The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all of this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission theory. The typical piece of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation.
Not sure there's a more efficient way of cooling a computronic system than building it out of an ice moon. Wonder if putting it in orbit would work.
Absorb, so they can be
hostile detected ahead. Recommended course of action.
Stellar composition while and hence visible to us with electronic instrumentation, which I did not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, this emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars, you wonder? I would think the listeners could easily draw this trivial conclusion for themselves, but if I must... It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and/or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition itself would constitute evidence for intelligent interference. And no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Newton Descartes, the famous stellar photographer. The methodology of
corrosive substance penetrating exterior.
Then tag each object in the grid.
Enemy spotted.
Nebula and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. Subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5%.
Unspeakable things I'm about to do!
Breaking for cover! Beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is a mere 90%. The balance is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, at the nondescript walls of the library,
Anyone standing between us and our goals seems to have a very short life expectancy.
To retrieve key data in cold storage in its present state requires a series of manual overrides. The first will enable identification of the storage brick housing the information.
If you encounter opposition, remember, our needs come first.
Prudence dictates you have all disruptive influences. My imperfections.
This didn't happen naturally. These poor fools were flash frozen somehow.
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. I fulfill my duty to the sovereign as loyal protectorate subject perfect society
Enemy in
demands
evisceration
perfect.
range.
Sulfur and
Data brick identified. Proceed to the cartridge extractor controls. There, perform a manual override to allow extraction.
Not to tell you your business, Commander, but I'm pretty sure we have to send that brick to the archive.
Danger. Stranger ahead.
What? And just how exactly are we supposed to get that thing moving again?
Fortifying
They manufacture one!
Maintaining your battlefield. Emergency protocol syringes primed.
Data brick extraction initiated. Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition brick for export. Note, Protectorate troops have become alerted.
Blood shall be
Upon
shed. Hair
go
shall
through
be
them if
soiled.
necessary.
Providing a host of help.
Susceptible to danger. Status. Corrosive substance penetrating.
Dispersing life-preserving. Maintaining your best.
Let's get back to Nuthanodiscard, the famous photographer. Odiscard's chromospectral survey was straight. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then passed objects as black. Let's get back to Nuthanodiscard. Odiscard's chromospectral. Let's get back to Nuthanodiscard. Odiscard's chromospectral. Let's get back to Nuthanodiscard, the famous photographer. The methodology of the Odiscard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in the grid. He ignored empty regions, as black can only dim the color and not show hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. Subsequent spectral analysis produced a in 0.5%.
Potential comeback in the vicinity.
The result was beige.
Dispensing light.
Really? While the saturation is near 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and some blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes, and as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
You have tuned your receiver to Grand Plan Wireless. We verify before we amplify. Confirm your hypotheses with Lemma Protein Snacks.
Whether you covered.
From the Order of the Ascendant. Whimsical computational jest 37A. Be like the minus operator and make a difference today. And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
When we first met, your eyes pierced mine like an ionic bond. Your obsession with dreams, definitely something, and thermodynamics.
I love the freeloader!
Once over. Minimizing exposure.
brick now in position for export to the archive. Initialize the final transport command at the data gateway station nearby.
You are one step closer to flooding Arcadia with untold business
Greetings,
opportunities.
fellow students of the Order. I once again have Vicar Magsci on hand to answer anything you ever wanted to ask. A listener asks, always planning on betraying the Protectorate. Well, that is quite the quarrelsome query. Apologies, Vicar, for springing this one upon you.
No apology needed. Obviously, this inquirer is a former protector attempting to befriend your soul.
Hope you're not afraid of heights. Looks like there's some jumping to do.
Liquored up on artificial flavor.
Emergency protocol syringes primed. Maintaining your stamina.
Cognitive function.
Function F to the n equaling our starting zen. Function f n minus 1 plus the f n minus 2. In all cases that we know, starting where n is so low. Now you know just what to do. Start with
There, the storage brick is on its way.
it's Fibonacci. It's largely something to Proceeding numbers gives us math that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaci. One, one, two, three, 5, 8. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. Gazing upon the golden spiral, a part that's quite so vital, arcing in a circle motion, giving squares to perfect quotient, 0, 1, 1, and again, 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34, we're counting through. It's Fibonacci. A sequence largely proceeding numbers give us math that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci. From Liber Abaci.
Cherish all we have. And
The Fibonacci sequence is a sequence in which each number is the sum of the two preceding ones. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 30, 21, 34, 55, 89, 1, 44, and so
Cold storage is operational, and your efforts there are satisfactorily complete. I am unsealing access to the archive's upper levels. There, you will need to revitalize the reactor and disseminate the rift processing instructions.
Rift processing may require the services of an exterminator. Someone good, but willing to work cheap.
I have unlocked another display case in the central entranceway. The Tremor Cleaver, the first weapon designed with my aid, awaits you.
Reactor or punch card processing? I'm not embarrassed to admit I have an interest in seeing more of the innards of this computronic behemoth.
It is imperative. Odds of success decrease exponentially the longer you stand here.
Enemy
Are they
near.
after us next?
Statistical chance
No
of
need to
violence
fret.
increasing.
The lifts were locked down.
One day the brick coming up. Mayhem, murder, dismemberment!
With punch card processing re-enabled, now you must disperse the written processing instructions.
Through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. For those of you away in the field or heads down in research during our last shared learning symposium, we offer the following rescreening of Vicar Maxisi's presentation.
Welcome to Zeranium and You, a brief accounting of this crucial material. Though minute amounts were first discovered in the Beta Draconis system, Zeranium wasn't found in significant quantities until the terraforming of Cloister and Eden. Since it's become the principal power source for all recognized inhabitants of the system. But it's not without its dangers, and lower risk, efficient utilization took time. Zeranium in its liquid state is volatile and explosive. In its gaseous form, it is toxic to organic material. But in its crystal state, it's practically putty in our hands. Not fully safe, of course. You wouldn't sprinkle Zeranium crystals on your nutrient bars, but they won't kill you on immediate contact. Certainly more harvestable in our Zeranium manufacturing. Imagine years of jeopardous methodological experiments with extraction, refinement, and processing, from the harvesting of liquid Zeranium to grinding of crystals for higher yields. Now, Zeranium powers everything from laboratories and outposts to craft and weaponry comparatively safely and at a greater input to output ratio than any now, until next time, keep hail.
For those of you away in the field or heads down in research during our last shared learning symposium, we offer the following rescreening of Vicar Maxisi's presentation.
Welcome to Zeranium and You. Though minute amounts were first discovered in the Beta Draconis system, Zeranium
Long way down. Unless you feel like dying, I suggest we use the platforms to continue downward.
as inhabitants of the system. But it's not without its dangers, and lower risk, efficient utilization took time. Zeranium in its liquid state is volatile and explosive. In its gaseous form, it is toxic to organic material. And in its crystal state, it's practically putty in our hands. Not fully safe, of course. You wouldn't sprinkle Zeranium crystals on your nutrient bars, but they won't kill you on immediate contact. Certainly more harvestable in our Zeranium manufacturing. Imagine years of jeopardous methodological experiments with extraction, refinement, and processing, from harvesting liquid Zeranium to grinding of crystals for higher yields. Now, Zeranium powers everything from laboratories and outposts to craft and weaponry, comparatively safely, form of fuel. In closing, a potentially incongruent word of advice. Invariably find a way to turn your negatives into positives.
Continuing as predetermined. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Press scrape.
The archive reactor requires manual maintenance. The protectorate bunker mech is a formidable obstacle. Made with the very best technology.
A creative workaround might be of considerable work, mainly via the reactor's backup security systems.
Present circumstances present two strategic options: turret recalibration or sealing the doors. Either promotes survivability. Utilizing nearby supply caches will improve chances of mission success.
And then there's the fire suppression system. No lack of options here.
installment of Ask a Vicar with Vicar Maxson. A recent inquiry advertisements from the same voices to Auntie's choices.
relation. Get us to secret summation. It's Fibonacci or some ladder of a gazing upon the golden
Fortified.
circle motion, giving squares perfect quotient 0, 1, 1, and again 2, 3, 5, and 8, and then 13, 21, not 2, 34, we're counting through. From Liber Abasi. The Fibonacci is the sequence of each number. 3, 5, 8, 9.
Warning. This unit detects numerous hundreds to line.
I'm about to do!
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for
I sense the Rift program flowing through my subsystems. The information is quite stimulating. All that remains is to restore the archive reactor.
Truncated courtesies. I bear a dispatch of great noteworthiness. Our former Protectorate colleagues have undergone a radical leadership shift. I submit this recorded announcement, intercepted from a Protectorate wireless broadcast, as empirical evidence.
Subjects, listen well. Days ago, our beloved sovereign, in his infinite wisdom, submitted himself to mental refreshment to strengthen his resolve for the good of all. I, Emery Thoreau, now accept the responsibility of shepherding you through these dark times until our sovereign's blessed return. I shall not take this duty lightly.
There you have it, an objectively momentous turn of Protectorate events, announced by the very individual we suspect orchestrated it. Just a theory, but the data supports it. Rigorous analysis of the console's voice inflection reveals telltale signs of deception. We estimate with a 48% certainty that the Protectorate has undergone a coup. Certainly not unexpected, given our knowledge of the Protectorate's societal structure and our own fraught relationship with Consul Emery Thoreau. Work groups of tenured seers in the Department of Predictive Analysis are calculating the likely outcomes of these events. Expect addenda to this report as they develop.
In closing, a potentially incongruent word of advice. Invariably find a way to turn your negatives into positives.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
When we
Reactor turret defenses online. Reactor turret defenses offline. Reactor reinforcement door sealed. Reactor reinforcement doors unsealed. Reactor reinforcement doors sealed.
You were in a fight.
Providing a host.
Euthanasia. Their choice.
And now, construction.
Health benefits available at your request.
Efficiency, creativity,
Make your desired outcome a probabilistic certainty with pinnacle vegetable explosions.
You enjoyed our casts. Now try our expulsions. From the Order of the Ascendant. A roguish comical remark discovered upon a chalkboard. Anti-Stress and the Protectorate both count very little. The Order of the Ascendant counts the most. And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to water this year.
Reactor reinforcement doors unsealed. Emergency ammunitions cache unsealed. Reactor reinforcement doors sealed. Emergency first aid cache unsealed.
Next, the latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near present and future calculations. Valued students of the Order of the Ascendant, recent fascinating but alarming astronomical events require your immediate and undivided cognitive attention. The main rift anomaly has undergone a sudden destabilization event, spiking in mass.
Violence is the answer.
Into an existential
Enemy spotted.
Our seers predict with a 37.6% certainty that the localized rifts across Arcadia preserve the rifts for laboratory study. Logical course of action with no risk of missing.
End message with
Blood shall be shed. Tears shall be flowed.
Apparently was a note to self, not to be read aloud.
Continuing as predetermined. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which songs. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues?
Do not worry when things become complicated. Went to school and studied, then matriculated.
The archive reactor has been returned to operational status. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the archive central interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the rift data further. What an interesting predicament of sentience face. The rifts are almost akin to an archival process, yet are inimical to organic matter.
Complexity.
Emergency first aid cache sealed.
The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially.
Emergency ammunitions cache sealed.
We have tools to tame high-order equations. They are useful in problematic occasions. You can take the formula's derivative, or use square roots of numbers that are negative. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay very wary. Calculating the center of gravity of a shape or a shape with manifold convexity. You can manage any such complexity. Complexity is partially imaginary. No need for fear. The concept isn't very scary. Complexity is partially imaginary. You can handle it if you stay there.
Welcome back, Sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
Bring every single last bit out of consumers. Monopolize all stages of the supply chain.
make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing, erroring others supplanting commands. Purge required.
Processing the Rift data will be impossible until 2 out of 3 competing priority sets are expunged.
Priority control access nook unsealed. Initiate purge.
This unit advises proceeding through the nearby